Hey guys, it's me, Asia. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. If you're not new, welcome back.
Wait a minute, the way you move that body, you done got my heart all in it, and I just wanna be with you tonight.
Hey guys, it's me, Asia. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. If you're not new, welcome back. For this video, I am going to be doing a story time on how our first ever apartment burned down. So, I believe I was 19, I was pregnant, and we moved into our first apartment together ever. It wasn't in the greatest area, but it was our own place. So when we moved there was things that still wasn't completed. They said that they basically fixed things up, but nothing looked fixed to me. Everything still looked the same. But the whole time, like, we had one of those duplexes. I think it was a duplex, like one of those apartments or duplexes that is like, here's somebody's door, like you had to enter a door, here's somebody's door, here's somebody's door, here's upstairs, here's somebody's door, here's somebody's door. So it was like a little four section, if that makes sense. But everybody here, like there was 3 people living in that building besides us, like 3 different families, I should say, living in this building besides us, but they all knew each other. We didn't know these people. We just knew they was always loud. They was always in our backyard. They was always making all this chaotic noise. And it was annoying because I was pregnant, about to give birth soon, and couldn't even like be at that apartment by myself. That's how bad it was. And I kept basically praying to God, asking him to help us break our lease, because I wanted to break our lease so bad. I wanted to break it. I just wanted to say F it, because we only lived there for a month. Only a month. We moved there in May, and then we got, oh my gosh, I literally remember this so strongly. We moved there in May on my husband's birthday. And then when we moved out, because the apartment burned down, it was on Father's Day, which is literally the next month, June. And we wasn't home at the time, thank goodness, but we just got this beautiful cat that hated my guts. And we stayed with my mom because like I just never felt comfortable like really spending the night there. I spent the night there maybe a couple of times, like maybe like 3, but majority of the time my husband had night shifts. So whenever he was at work, I would be like, okay, deal. Like I would just leave and go back to like the city my mom stays in. So I would literally drive hours every single day just doing that, just back and forth. Like whenever I had enough of my mom, I would go to our house. Whenever there was too much going on at our house, I'll go to my mom's. So I was just everywhere in that whole mix of moving, like trying to get used to it. But I just couldn't. I kept making complaints to the apartment. I don't think I have the messages anymore because I had to delete stuff out of my emails. But I had so many complaints to the apartments about these people, and they did nothing about it. Nothing. And then when they did nothing about it, that's when they burned our apartment down. The whole story, I don't know if the story is true, but what it started above us. So like the door right here, like here's mine, here's the person in front of us, here's this person above us, and here's this person. So it started at this one, I believe, the one above the person in front of me. And he said that he was cooking French fries and he had grease on the stove. And he went outside and he got into an argument with somebody outside that he forgot that he was cooking French fries, and it started spreading, like basically like it started catching on fire and it started spreading, and that's how it happened. But I feel like there was probably more to it, but hey. But that's how our apartment burned down. And y'all, I had renter's insurance because my mom works for like insurance people. And I was like, what is the purpose of having renter's insurance? This is so dumb. This is so stupid. Why do I have renter's insurance? I'm about to cancel it. Even though it was like cheap as hell. It was like $26 a month. But I was like, there's no purpose of me paying this. I'm about to cancel it. So I was really thinking about canceling it. But I was pregnant. So I had pregnancy brain or something. But thank goodness I had that pregnancy brain, because something like just made me lose my sidetrack on canceling it, and I didn't cancel it. Because I didn't cancel it, and my mom worked for that company that we had our insurance for. She was able to like get everything started for us and talk to the person that was supposed to be like handling our files and stuff. And we was able to find a place to stay that same day, y'all. That same day. There was so much going on. Like I was so upset, crying my eyes out. That whole community, like I didn't live in a good area, like especially neighborhood wise, but that whole community was so good to me, so good to me. Like everybody was donating their baby stuff, everybody was donating me and my husband clothes. They were being so genuinely like the perfect community. I just feel like I just lived in the wrong area, because the people over here, the whole 1, 2, 3, they was just always loud. They were in my backyard. They was leaving trash everywhere. It was just so bad. And even when I stayed in that apartment complex, there was always like police officers, ambulance, and everything like driving around in this neighborhood every day with their sirens on, like something's happening in this neighborhood. But you know, that was our blessing in disguise, because with me having renter's insurance, it helped us get into our hotel the same day. So we ended up checking in. We had the cat at the time, but we ended up getting rid of the cat because it was just too much. We didn't want to put the cat into like living in a hotel, because we stayed there for 30 days. But honestly, it was shorter. It was like 27 days. It was like 27 days. It was supposed to be 30. But because when we checked in, we had a cat, you know, that came out of our budget. Even though we got rid of the cat, I forgot to tell them we got rid of the cat. So that's why our days was a little shorter, but it wasn't too much shorter. It was just a couple days. Just always listen to your intuition, right? If you know an area is not really where you want to be at and you've been making any complaints, you got to do more. Because I was young. I should have went to the office just raising hell, but I didn't do that. Everything I did was over the phone and through emails. Of course, there's a paper trail with the emails and the phone calls, but you know, I feel like if I showed my face more, letting them know my concern, showing them the videos I did have, they probably would have did more, where we still would have had that place. But thank goodness we didn't have to stick with that place very long. And that's just my story time of how our apartment burned down. And so basically God listened to my prayers and he answered them in a different way that I didn't expect. But all of it was a blessing in disguise. But I love you guys. I'll see you guys in my next YouTube video. Peace.